Hello everybody. So my sister bought this e-ink Android phone. It's called the Hisense A9. But yes, I think a lot of people in today's day and age are familiar with e-ink displays. You've seen them on Kindle e-readers and well, other e-readers on the market right now. Well, I have a Kobo myself. This is just for reading. For most e-readers out there on the market, you can only just, well, read with them. But this, on the other hand, is a fully functional Android phone. I'm gonna try playing some games with it because the fact that this thing works as a phone is mind-boggling to me. The thing that instantly blew my mind when I first saw this phone was the fact that it can scroll. And well, the fact that it can play videos. Yes, this thing has speakers. This thing can take pictures and it can screen record and take screenshots. It has the typical smartphone functions like, it has a fingerprint reader and volume buttons and a dedicated e-ink button here for you to refresh the screen. Because if you're not familiar with how e-ink works, inside the screen, it contains a ton of different microcapsules sandwiched between two layers. And inside each microcapsule, they have black pigment and white pigment. The white pigment is positively charged and the black pigment is negatively charged. So basically when the display wants to show something, it will apply different electrical fields to each microcapsule to, well, bring the pigment up or down. So when it applies a negative charge, the black pigment will rise to the top and that's where you can see it, and it will show white if it sends a positive charge. And that's basically the rundown of e-readers. The thing about e-reader display screens is that there is ghosting when you do a lot of scrolling or quick changes in the fields. So it's quite common when you have an e-reader screen that sometimes you can see an after image of the last thing you looked at. And the only way to get rid of it is for the screen to refresh, which is why on a lot of e-readers, when you flip a page, the entire thing turns black and then white, and then you have a clear page of what you're looking at. And that's what this button here is for. Well, you can change what the button does, but on default, it refreshes the screen. So for this phone brand in particular, Hisense, they've made a lot of e-ink screen phones. They've made like 9, I think. All of them come with their own OS, where they have packaged e-ink specific settings for it. As you can see here, they have settings for, well, the display modes. I'll show you how the different settings affect how the scrolling is like. So for clear, it's a lot slower. It's like the traditional e-ink refresh that you see from a lot of e-readers. On balanced, it tries to give some speed and clarity at the same time. Smooth is, well, for smoothness. And then the fastest one for speed. As you can see, the refresh is definitely leagues behind LCD screens, but e-ink phones are for a niche, and that niche is for people who love to read on their phones and, well, just want to have an e-ink experience. So one thing to note is that these phones are created by a Chinese company. There is nothing Google on this phone. Technically, it's a de-Googled phone. If you have used a de-Googled phone before, you will recognize what Aurora Store is. So if you ever get this phone, you need to find alternatives to get your usual apps, or root it and modify the OS so that you can use Google stuff on it. And you can take a screenshot by swiping 3 fingers down. The images will be in black and white on the phone, but if I were to send this to myself, you can see here that the image is in color. So when you take pictures with this phone, or take videos, or screen record, screenshot, anything, it's actually in color, but just that the screen display is not in color. So yes, that's enough dilly-dallying. If you want more info about this phone, please just look up other reviews. We're here to play games. This is still so surreal to look at. If you guys haven't played the latest update of Arcaea, the end of the main story, please go play it. It's really good. And yes, this has speakers, can play sound. This is surprisingly good offset. But one thing to note is that for Arcaea's offset system, it will only test your audio latency using this method. So 53 milliseconds of audio latency, not too bad at all. But the biggest issue with, well, e-ink screens in general is the video latency. For that, I'll have to test it in another way later. And if you no idea what I'm talking about with all the offsets and stuff, please watch this video on the top right. Okay, let's play a level 8, something easy. Oh my god. Okay, conflict tracks are gonna be a lot worse on this. My sister did complain that Spotify was impossible to use on this because it only has dark theme. Oh my god. I can barely see what's happening. The art colors look exactly the same. Okay, maybe we should play something light theme. Okay, there's definitely a lot of screen latency here because I've hit way earlier than it actually is. So far the ghosting on here doesn't look too bad at all actually. is by far the worst I've ever played on Fairy Tail. Holy heck. 114 lates. Wow. Okay, there's only one way I can think of testing the visual latency here. Dawn-chan looks cursed as hell. Because it's a web client, I'm not sure that I'm even hitting this correctly. That's really huge latency. Okay, the ghosting is starting to get really bad. Okay, it is unplayable. I think it might be easy on landscape. So I got another taiko simulator. This one is called Taiko-san Daijiro 2. You can play TJA charts on this, but I haven't downloaded anything, so we'll just play the default chart. This is taiko on hard mode. Oh, the ghosting is really bad. It's interesting how it was less bad on Arcaea. Okay, I have no idea what's happening. But yep, that's how it's like playing rhythm games on an e-ink screen. I really wanted to also try playing A Dance of Fire on this, except that there's no Google Play Store here, so I can't even re-download what I've bought. It also would have been interesting to try playing Osu, but wait, I'm gonna try screen recording on this thing, and let's see how it looks like compared to the actual thing. What if I try playing Fracture? Wait, you see how laggy the screen is from like my tabs? Oh, the phone is actually getting a little bit hot. I feel like, oh my god, this is, Yep, this is unplayable. Whoa, that score! Yeah, that's amazing. And that's it for the Hisense A9. Obviously, you wouldn't buy this for games, but I just thought it would be interesting to try anyway. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next week.